Hey, what's up everybody? Joshua Casper back at you with Plugin Boutique, and I got a little something different than our usual plugin videos. This one is about a sample pack that we have on pluginboutique.com, and it's particularly awesome in my opinion. I figured we should make a video for it because that's how great it is, and you guys are probably going to be interested. It's from Rawcutz. It's called Boom Black Complete, and it's jam-packed with 3 gigabytes of samples. And the thing that really caught my eye about this is it comes in 50 Ableton Live projects. So it comes in DrumRacks that are laid out with MIDI that make essentially song starter construction kits. Now, not only do you get 50 Ableton Live projects with these drum kits inside them, but you also get 50 Maschine kits as well. So if you have Maschine or Ableton Live, or if you're just looking for really great hip hop samples, this is something you want to check out. Links in the video description as always. All right, everybody, so this is the pack. I'm inside of it, inside of my browser right here at the Boom Black Complete pack. As I said, it comes with 3 gigabytes of samples, very, very nicely laid out here. Drums, tops, loops. Then you got the individual samples themselves. And then you have the Ableton Live drum kit project files. There are 50 of them. And then if you have Maschine, you also have 50 packs inside of there as well. So a lot to get you started. You heard some of the packs in the intro to this video as background music, but I'm just gonna go ahead and play you a few of them here and then talk about how you can get started making your own unique sounds from this incredibly large pack. So these are just some of the beats right here. I'm just gonna play a few of them and then we'll jump into, how to get started tweaking these out. All right, so that should give you a good idea about the type of vibe inside of these project files. If I come into this one here and double click, you'll see that I have my MIDI. If I switch over to this view, you'll see that it's a drum rack. I've got 16 samples loaded inside of here. And that's the way each one of the Ableton Live packs is laid out. In order to get started here, the way I jumped in was I actually came into the packs here and I opened each one of them, and each one is helpfully labeled with the key and BPM. You can see here it says A minor 95 BPM. Each and every one of the 50 starter kits are 95 BPM. So you don't need to worry about different BPMs and stuff like that. They're all going to be lined up perfectly. So if you drop your loops, if you jump into the sample packs and drop a drum loop from here into a drum loop slot on one of the drum racks, it's going to sync up perfectly. You don't need to worry about editing or anything like that. It's really, really sweet for trying to get things going quickly. Now, some other ways to get stuff going is to, actually, before I jump into that, the way I have this laid out, if I come into the Ableton Live folder here, let's say I want to pull over this one, click, drag and drop it. Boom, everything is imported. If I go ahead and launch it, I've got my track and I've got the full project inside of a different project file. So it's really easy to do stuff like that if you're trying to make like a hip hop performance, with a set, maybe you have a few acapellas or something like that and you just want to keep the vibe going. Really easy to do. Also, you'll notice here that I've actually laid them out. The project files don't come with the A minor 95 in the project file name itself, so I just went ahead and did that. And then inside of Ableton Live, I added all of the A minors to the red favorite, all of the E minors to orange, and then green. So now I can just come in here and hit red, and boom, these are all the A minor files. And you can see here that the majority of the projects are in A minor. Again, a huge boost in workflow when you're mixing and matching these samples, and everything's in the same key, so you don't need to be worrying about music theory and going outside of the key. You can just find what sounds good and run with it. Another quick way to get some variation, I've got this pack right here. It's the second pack. So that's pretty dope, but what if I just take this MIDI right here, you know, drag it over here. That's a control, click and drag, and then play this. It's giving me a completely different track. It's using the same elements or sounds from this drum rack, but in a completely different MIDI sequence and MIDI performance, and it's giving me a completely different feel. Now, sometimes it might be fairly similar, and you can use it for maybe the hook in the verse or a breakdown or whatever you want. Obviously, you can come in and edit the MIDI note by note if you wanted to as well. Just that method alone is going to give you a ton of variation. Now, another thing you can do is come into the drum rack itself, and let's say I want to switch out the snare. I click right there. I'll see the simpler instrument, or you can always click right here as well and cycle through this way to see the individual ones without the drum rack cluttering up the space. So there it is. Again, come into your packs, samples here, jump into the individual samples, come down to snares. And let's say I want to change out that one. Boom. I'm good to go, right? So super easy to get variations here, and there are 50 projects to get you started, 3 gigabytes of sounds. And I do want to point out that there is a Boom Black Light also available on pluginboutique.com. Again, link in the video description, where you get 5 kits instead of the 50. So you can experiment and decide if this is the right pack for you. And then you can just upgrade to the full version easily enough. So again, links to everything in the video description. Check it out if you're a hip hop producer, or if you're new to Ableton Live or new to music production, or if you're a seasoned producer looking for 3 gigabytes of really hip hop vintage flavored samples to play with. Anyway, I'm Joshua Casper here for Loop Masters. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you in the next video.